Ever find yourself stuck while writing a report or preparing a presentation? Feeling that something is off but you can't put your finger on it? Well, it might be because you are neglecting the differences between an Eulerian and an Euclidean way of presenting ideas. Understanding the differences between these two presentation styles and when to use one or the other according to who your audience is the key to getting your message across loud and clear. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Zé, a PhD student on computational mechanics. This contrast between the presentation styles of Euclid and Euler is beautifully highlighted by George Pólya in his two books, How to Solve It and Mathematics and Plausible Reasoning. Let's first understand how Euclid presents his ideas. We can use as an example his famous treatise on geometry, The Elements. After choosing the axioms he regards as best, the basis for all his reasoning, he moves unrelenting from one theorem to the next, never looking back. Everything follows from the axioms and the previous theorems. It is a synthetic presentation. Sometimes you wonder, why is he deducing this theorem in particular? The proof, as far as we can tell, is fine. But why this theorem? Sometimes it's not clear. 2 or 3 theorems later, you finally understand that it was supposed to be used here, and that is why you looked at it first. This may look removed from the way we present and discuss ideas outside the realm of mathematics, but it is not. Imagine you are presenting to your boss something you did to solve a problem. You explain what you did, how you did it, and that it works. If you think about it, that's pretty much what Euclid did. He presents a theorem and it just proves it. This can work because perhaps your boss doesn't care how you came up with the idea, just that it works and the problem is solved. If your audience only cares about the correctness of the results, presenting like Euclid is the most straightforward way to do it. It fulfills perhaps the most important requirement in a technical presentation. It is correct. And it is easy to see that it is correct. But it is not inspiring. It fails to show how we could have reached the same idea ourselves. It fell from the sky, and despite fulfilling its promise, can leave us disappointed and wanting more. In the words of Pólya, the most conspicuous blemish in an otherwise acceptable presentation is the Deus ex machina. In comes Euler, according to Pólya, the master of us all. He was referring to his problem-solving and mathematical ability. However, it also applies to his ability of clearly motivating his choices and educating his audience. Why? Because he shows how he got to his idea in the first place. How does he achieve this, you ask? His reasoning is inductive. He gives insights into the heuristic motivations behind certain steps to come. He shows why he thought it was likely that this thing was gonna work. Sometimes it doesn't, but he probably got closer to the solution, and he can now iterate on his guess. It is always clear why he's doing what he's doing. The steps in his reasoning are in the opposite way to Euclid. Instead of departing from what we know, he departs from what we want to know, and reason our way back to what is true, in an analytic way. Getting back to the example where your boss asked you to solve a problem. You can present the idea that solved it by first highlighting what features of the problem led you to believe that this solution or this approach was gonna work. Maybe your first guess didn't work completely, but you got closer. What feature of this first guess could be improved on? You show what that looks like, and step by step you get closer to the solution. When you finally arrive at it, it is very clear to your audience why the solution is what it is and how you got to it. An Eulerian way to present ideas is ideal when we want to inspire and educate the audience. For example, when you are teaching a subject and want to show why things are the way they are and how we could have reached similar conclusions, or when you are presenting your own work, for example in a thesis presentation. This way you can better illustrate your reasoning and the why behind your decisions. Sometimes we don't make our motivations clear and we lose the interest of our audience by pulling a Deus ex machina. In short, we can say that Euclid focuses on the how and Euler on the why.